In about 1.5 hours, I got completely unloaded with all my stuff and yanked this engine out. 1.5 hours. Getting ready to have it on an engine stand right in there in the customer garage. Getting ready to, just for proof, they don't, God didn't make trees like this where I live. Where do you think that is? Anyway, I'm fixing to tear this thing all the way back down, put pistons in it, put a new cylinder head on it, put all the gaskets, seals, everything, updated timing chain, and I'm getting ready to plop it back in this car, make it run, and then go home. 15 hours I drove out here. NaptownTuner here. I'm out doing a mobile engine repair. This specific vehicle is a Q5. It's a 2012. It has 60-some thousand miles on it, and it was consuming a lot of oil. First off, I found the drain plug is completely stripped and loose and just spinning. You see how much oil is coming down the front case. You know, this upper timing gasket gets hard and brittle, and then it leaks all this oil down here. That's what that's from. It's already had an updated water pump. One of the things that was interesting is I've already got a video on this rear outlet housing, but on this specific engine, me just removing it, and it came all the way apart and broke apart right here. The starter was already replaced. I see the sticker on it. Someone put a new starter in it for some reason, 60,000 miles. The turbocharger, the wastegate is already somewhat loose, but it's not horrible. So at this, you're not supposed to be able to spin it like this, but just being this loose right here, this is barely loose, that will not create a fault. So, but what I am gonna do, see, I was able to remove this without busting any studs. What I will be able to do on this one was, I brought a clip here, and this is a little bit difficult to fit in here with it still on, but these ears right here go on the back side, and see if I'm trying to get a good view here for you. So you just spin it on like that and rotate it around, and then you want to push it back and forth to make sure that the ears lock in. So you see, now that I snapped this in, you see the ears on this back side right here. You want to wiggle this clip side to side to make sure that it's seated in there, and these ears are clamped up against here. And if you need to, you can even bend those ears out a little bit more just to make sure it's fully seated. And then with that clip on now, that wastegate's a lot more stiff, and it's going to hold tension on that linkage to where it won't make it prematurely fail in the future. So it's always a good idea maybe just to give the little wheel a little spin, make sure everything's spinning freely. Now what else did I find? We have the original timing chain on this one. This is the old school timing chain. Whenever I pulled, so this needs updated to the new style. I've got it over here. Let's just show you the parts real quick. We've got the updated rods. These are the pistons with the waffle style ring that we're installing, the most updated pistons. We've got the new spark plugs, the head bolts. This is the upper timing chain gasket. We've got a new oil pan in this case because the stud was stripped out previously. We got an OEM oil filter here. We've got a Fel-Pro head gasket. We've got the updated guides that go further out and extend. We've got the OEM timing chain tensioner gaskets. This is the updated style chain. You see the difference in the links right here between the old style and the new style chain. This new style is a lot more robust, even though it's still the size of a bicycle chain. We've got our pans cleaned up and ready to go. This is the lower timing chain gasket right here, and then I've got the upper oil pan all cleaned up and ready to go. And let's get started. This one had a new water pump previously installed before I got to it. Let's take a look at what the valves look like at 60,000 miles. Let me get my flashlight. There we go. Not horrible. but just a thin layer of sludge. And that's what it's going to look like all the way across. You see that? In this specific case, this engine still runs, so I could just put the existing cylinder head back on, but I've got a fully rebuilt cylinder head with new valve guides, new valve stem seals, valve job. The valves are brand new, clean, everything's ready to go, and the camshafts are polished. So this screen was lost in here, and this is what they always look like. It was popped out right here. Sometimes that can obstruct the oil flow and scratch your camshafts. In this case, we're in good shape. But this is the other thing I like to show. I don't need to reuse this, but everyone warps these pans whenever they remove them. This is how you remove this pan without warping it. If you have some room, you can get in here in the top real quick, and you hear how there's a lip in here, and you can just separate a little bit from the top, and then you get your thin profile flat blade screwdriver, and you stick it right here. You see, this is a flimsy pan, but this is the strongest part of the pan. That piece right here strengthens it quite a bit, so it's got a lot of rigidity on the bottom right here. Unlike this side, it's a lot more weak. In between these two bolt holes are a lot closer. So don't mess with anything but this area right here. Stick it at a perfect angle right up in here, and then take your screwdriver, go right there. You see how that just popped it right off? Now come over here and give this side a little tap. Perfect, no warp. Now this is the old style tensioner, and we can see how much stretch we have. I can only stick my middle finger in between here, so I'll compare that when we have the new timing chain on there. So regardless if this was consuming oil or not, or whatever the case, this at least had to get the timing kit anyway, because it would have completely made this thing fail with catastrophic pistons hitting valves. So it's good that we're doing everything all in one shot.